Hi guys, today I'm gonna do a short breakdown on the latest limited unit, Rinak. So let's get started. So Rinak is a unit with like 129 base speed. So she has ram base speed and she's like really fast. So I mean you definitely wanna stack speed and attack on her because she cannot crit. So S1 cannot crit, S3 cannot crit. I mean sure you can crit with S2, but that doesn't mean that you wanna build crit on her, right? So definitely wanna only stack attack and speed. Now, what do I think about bulk on Rinak? So a lot of people ask me if Rinak needs bulk. Today I say yes. Now, why do I say that? Because like Rinak reminds me of Rimuru, where if you can get a second S3 off, right, it's gonna be game changing or even game winning. So you definitely want some bulk. Like you don't want to build a Rinak so squishy that you die from a single S1 or like a single 3F proc from Valiant, right? I mean, even for me, I feel like my bulk is kind of low, but do realize that she has Pilfer, which means, I mean, not Pilfer, sorry, she has Spoils, which means she gets 20% stack. I mean, not stack. She gets 20% health, defense, and attack when she S2s, right? So, let's say if I S2, I'm gonna be like 14k health and 1.4k defense, which makes me pretty tanky. Now, this is why I don't recommend building Renault with like 800 defense. Because if you're gonna be 800 defense, 20% of 800 defense isn't much. So you definitely want some bulk. Even if it costs you attack, I would say. Like you really don't need that much attack. Like if you cannot hit 10k and 1k defense, I'll recommend, you ditching attack and focusing on bulk. Because like it really helps a lot to survive for like a second H3. Now, I think her only artifact choice is her own. I don't think anything else works as good. Why do I say that? Because this artifact is way too clutch. So let's say FCC provokes Rinak. She gets combat readiness and stealth. Let's say, SSB lands a random defense break. She gets combat readiness and stealth. So you can imagine how strong this artifact is. So as long as you don't get unbuffable, nothing else really matters, right? The moment you get debuffed, you're gonna get stealthed. So this is like really good. Now, what are units you wanna pair Rinak with? I mean, if you look at her S3, she stuns for one turn after she uses S3 on herself, right? So it's a self debuff. Like it sounds bad, but it's not a problem if you have Sharoon. Because recently they buffed Sharoon and she does like 4k cascade damage. So it makes even more sense to like pair her up with Sharoon. And this combo is like really strong, both in RTA and even in Guild Wars, right? Like for Guild War offense, you can just run a Sharoon with like Rinak and just do 11k fixed damage turn 1, and then you have like BBK or something to follow up with like Sharoon's S3. So it's really crazy. But do take note that um, to achieve best results with Sharoon, you kind of want to run this artifact on Sharoon. Now, why do I say that? Because this artifact is 15% push, right? So you can either run this artifact or Sharoon's own artifact, which is this Sacred Tree Branch, which also pushes, but it's only 10%. So if you ask me, I'd rather 15%, because you don't really want to build your units 260 speed, right? So 15% like provides you with a lot more leeway, right? And I feel like the best pick with Sharoon in RTA is probably Balian. So Balian, Rinak, like Balian on 3F with Rinak and Sharoon does a lot of damage. Now, I guess I can show you guys a single game where I had this combo and it wasn't really pretty for my opponent. So let's take a look at let's see, one of my games. Okay, yep, this one right here. So I'm on Sacred Tree Branch right now, which I feel like it's really not very useful. This is why I prefer Senya's artifact. So I can put Balian on the front and it's gonna push my Balian, right? So I'm gonna show you guys how much damage Vinak and Shivan does. My Rinak just did 11.7k to a Runka and one tap her. That's kind of crazy. And I have a Shavun to follow up. And this is gonna do 11k fixed damage, right? So, like, it's gonna literally, kill my opponent instantly without even my DJB or Balian doing a thing. And if somehow, he has like 4 units that survived, he's not surviving a Balian Soban into Cascade, right? And do note I have 3F. So, like, Binak is basically a unit that works really well with Sharun and FCC because FCC is kind of good against Rinak. So you definitely want to pick FCC with her. And since FCC has AoE, you can proc AoE S3 Cascade, and that's another like 4k fixed damage, right? So FCC, Rinak, Sharun, Balian, you know, and like even Taeyu, right, works really well with her. Because you have to know that if you lock in Sharun on 3, you push back an entire team with your AoE 3. That way, you proc Taeyu really easily, and it's really easy to get a force ban on Taeyu. So, units that work well with Sharun includes like, FCC, Taeyu, and Belian basically. I guess that's all for my short breakdown on Rinak. For now, I would say that this unit is definitely one of like the most broken units in the game. But this is only week one impressions, right? So who's to say that um, others don't discover like even better comp with her? Like she might be even stronger uh than the stage she's at right now, right? So definitely keep an eye out for this unit. I feel like she's one of like the most broken units in the game. Alright guys, I guess that's it for today. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.